access to ministry. I want to talk about the Lord giving people access to ministry. Just a little bit. There we go. It doesn't seem like He gives a lot of people super access to ministry. There's a lot of people with sincere heart that probably don't know how to minister. A lot of people with a sincere heart that probably does know how to minister, but can't handle it as far as the financial end goes. And it's not that they can't put the money where it's needed. It's the power that the money gives that is so corruptible. So the Lord is very careful with that. If you look, there's over 300 million people in the United States today. There's not a lot of ministries at the head of this place. I mean, as far as giving power to TV and giving power to a lot of different areas, huge ministries. And it seems to me like the ones that the Lord does give access to ministry kind of messes it up eventually, you know. It seems to me that they all start out with good intentions, and I can't point to one person in ministry that I can think of that, at least in the beginning, didn't have a good intention to do something really good for the Lord. And we're all like, but it seems like the money will get us off track. It's money's intoxicating. It's like a drug, and it seems like every time that the Lord puts somebody in charge and gives them power and access to money and all that, that it ends up just being for money, all about money. And they all talk about it, you know. Our pastor at church one time, he appointed a board for the church and to give them access to ministries at the church. And all they did was talk about money. He quickly got rid of that board. I mean, more than likely every person that was on the board probably quit coming to church unless they were really close to God and faithful to the pastor there. But it's just that the money corrupts good morals, you know. I just washed my hair and I can't do a thing with it. Okay. Anyways. And same thing with major ministers today. Some of the ministers are afraid to speak the gospel because they don't want their thousands of people to stop coming to church, you know. And it always turns into being about the financial end. It's about building bigger buildings, getting a lifestyle, being prestigious, you know, held up before the public. You travel in certain circles with ministries and that type of thing, and I'm not 100% sure about who or what is fitted into those circles, but it seems like that they all come together for a common thing, which is they hold the people sort of hostage as to who could be in that circle and who can minister and all that kind of thing. And in the last days, God's going to break that circle. God's going to stop that. He's going to pull the plug on those ministries that are ahead, in especially in the United States. They seem to be corruptible. Now, not all of them are, but I can say this for sure: all of them have not the sincerity that they had at the beginning. I remember Jim, I can't think of his last name. Not Baker. I think it's Robinson. Yeah, James Robinson. When he first came on, man, he was hot. He preached, but I'm telling you, there was fire in him. And it slowly dwindled down to just a talk, and before too long, it was, no preaching at all. But, I have to rely on the Lord. Now, I'm talking about these other ministries and sort of criticizing, and from my point of view, and I don't know that's all in, they may be trying super hard, and I'm not really down in those, but I'm just saying that it looks to me like that it's caught up in finances, and in order to hold the helm of who they are and what they're doing, they have to. It's like they're captivated to this thing about collecting finances, soliciting people. Man, that should not be what ministry is about. Soliciting people. God pulls us with His heart. He pulls us. All those 10 Commandments, they are to guide and protect our heart and who we are. And it should be about pulling them with love. We shouldn't really have to solicit people at all. I know in the beginning, when they would give, the preachers wouldn't even collect names, but slowly they started collecting names, that type of thing, and writing people back. And it's just gotten to the point to where it's almost depressing to think about what evangelism, TV evangelism has become today. It's just, terrible. But there's a good news in this. The Lord's coming soon. He's going to anoint His people at a certain time, His preachers. God's preachers not even on the scene yet. For the last days. They're here. I'm one of them. And you can see where I'm at, And we won't be preaching for money either. We won't be soliciting people's names and addresses, that type of thing. And Lord help me if I do. I pray that I never have to do that, man. It's never been in my heart to do that. Don't have no desire to do it. And if they, even if they start doing it, I probably will put a screeching halt to it, because something. If God has a ministry, and the Lord should make a way for that ministry to survive without having to solicit to that money thing, So, and it's terrible that it will always turn to that, but it does. Seemingly like always it does. Alrighty, so God bless, and join me again next time for another edition of Crossing the Middle Ministry, where we have hopefully another great subject. I keep thinking I might run out of subject, but God just keeps giving me more. See you again next time. God bless.